Welcome to another Fortify Your Faith. This episode is Pray As You Can. Really, it's pray as you can, not as you can, which seems pretty obvious, but sometimes we can get set. I know I've gotten set in lines like, well, I got to pray this way. This seems to be the way I have to pray, and it's not actually facilitating my friendship with the Lord. It's kind of getting in the way. Uh, and that can change over time. I'll give you an example. So at one point in my kind of number of years ago, praying with my imagination, with the Gospels, and using my imagination, I found that really fruitful. Uh, and and then there came a point where I did that, and it wasn't doing anything. After weeks of trying, it was like, okay, and realizing, okay, I think the Lord wants me to pray in a different way. And it's not like I had some necessarily epiphany of knowing that. I had, St. Teresa of Avila speaks of that, of kind of learning to pray as God, kind of being open to allowing that to change. And so there's just different ways of praying, just kind of that have helped me with my conversation, recognizing, okay, I need to kind of change the way I pray. So we're to pray as we can, and to see these different ways of personal prayer that the church offers. They're really all meant to be kind of different launch pads into a loving conversation with the Lord. So whatever helps you move into that kind of loving conversation is good. All right. If you're trying a prayer method and it just seems mechanical, and even if you've learned it, you know it all down, and it just seems clunky, and it maybe just to consider, okay, is there maybe a different way the Lord wants me to pray? Because in prayer, what's most really important is spending time with God, being real with Him, and spending time being attentive to His presence, and being kind of really relating and open to Him. So whatever method of prayer assists you with kind of that open, go to that heart-to-heart dialogue, is how to pray, and just to be open of, as I grow in my prayer life, that's going to change over time. Just as any relationship, the way two people communicate can kind of be modified over time. That's fine, but that openness of, okay, Lord, how do you want me to pray, so that this can be fruitful. And it's not something you figure out like once, I try this method. Oh, I know this is the method I got to use now for the next 4 months. It's kind of certain trial and error, just a humility. Okay, and God is patient with us, so He doesn't expect us to, have it all down. And it's not. It's a relationship. It's not a formula. Well, I just do this, and boom, I'm going to have this deep relationship with God. No, it's a relationship. And so what's important is just investing time, daily time, into that relationship, being dedicated to a certain amount of time, and giving it to Him. One area in particular, even with the rosary, that can be one prayer that some people find really fruitful, and others find it's difficult to do. For example, I find it much easier to pray that in groups. Individually, sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes I need to use a kind of a companion book, kind of something to help keep me focused, or even I've had it where I'm just going to say an Our Father, 3 Hail Mary, and just kind of meditate on that mystery without saying the Hail Marys. And some people may say, well, how can you do that? You're not praying the Rosary. Well, it's really spending time with Jesus, like with Mary, lead me to Jesus, and that's the more important thing. So we shouldn't get the sense, well, I gotta say all these prayers. That's the most. No, it's spending quality time with the Lord, and so I've found that helpful sometimes. If just to open up the Scriptures and read the passage of the mystery, and just say, I'm just gonna meditate on this for about 15-20 minutes here, and that be my, you could say, what commonly kind of my devotional time to the Rosary. So I throw that out there. I think there's a certain kind of freedom we need to have, especially in our personal prayer life, and not to be comparing, well, it has to look like this, or because saints have said this, it has to be this. I think they give essentially the ground rules of to give time to the Lord, kind of consistently daily, and to protect that time, just to be alone with him, not to try to be doing four things. And okay, God, yeah, I'm also praying to eat with you. That's what, and then there's a great freedom in how you develop that prayer life, and not to say, well, this saint did this, I got to do the same thing, or they did it in this way, I have to. No, I think just that we're all different. God relates to us personally. We aren't a clone of anybody else, and we're unique. Each of us are unique, and our kind of growth is going to be unique as well toward the Lord. So there's certain ground rules of, okay, I need to kind of be dedicated to giving the time and working to be attentive, but how that's going to look, there's great freedom. And so I just encourage you, to try different methods of praying. Maybe try one for a week and see if did that work. Okay, maybe try another one and see, okay, well, that other one worked a lot better. I think maybe that one's the way I should try. And so just that freedom. God wants us not to be our prayer life, okay, how do I figure this out? No, how can I best how is it best assist me in just spending time with the Lord? So I just pray as you can, not as you can, and just find those ways that help you go into a heart-to-heart conversation with the Lord, allow you just to be with the Lord and just to open up and receive from him. That's how God wants us to pray, and just be patient. God is patient with us, and you don't have to figure it out tomorrow or next week, but that willingness of, okay, Lord, I want to develop this friendship, this relationship, and it's that commitment, that dedication. That's what God wants. That's what we bring, our time, ourselves. And so just encourage you to really invest kind of just in a daily prayer life.